WIIFTBP.
WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. I press decline and you keep calling me. Give you some love and you want all of it. I'm out here working, nigga, get a grip. I'm just trying to touch a million, you just wanna coexist. I say you clingy and you contradict. Give you my heart, you think it's counterfeit. Give you my word and you won't trust in it. What's the point of loving me if you don't know what trust is? I need the ease you give now. Please don't back down on me. I know you've got the attention I need. Put your pride aside for me. Oh, 'cause I need that ease. Put your pride aside for me. That ease. While I'm out trying to get that ease. Know that I need that ease. Put your pride aside for me, baby. You're insecure, it's driving me crazy. I'm trying to get it and you keep on saying, get all my love, it's never enough. I put up with you for too long, now I'm over it.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thanks for joining me. This is Tasha Napper here on What's in It for the Black People Media with the show I Do, I Did, I Don't, and I am so very excited about today. It is a new year, 2022. 2021, we have turned the page, and we're going to be talking about how this podcast, I Do, I Did, I Don't, has turned the page also. I'm excited. I'm excited. So I got to get my words together, get my thoughts together. I had to write my notes down so that I can stay with it and not completely go off a task. But again, for those who are joining, you are joining I Do, I Did, I Don't on What's in It for the Black People Media with Tasha. And let's just start with, I didn't do a show prior to the year ending and the new year starting. And so for me, I need to sort of be in that space. The last couple of weeks have been quite a wonderful time of reflection for me. And it's been very rich in understanding several things about who I am and where I'm going and what my intentions are, what I want to do, and just taking the time to do that. I encourage everyone, if you have not ever spent the time doing it, please gift that to yourself. You deserve to have that time. But y'all, do you realize it's been 1 year? It has been a year since I started this podcast. It was January of last year. I think January 22nd, maybe somewhere around in there. And so it has been 1 year, and I am floored, honestly, by what we've accomplished, what we've been able to talk about, what we have been able to do in 1 year. We have done 30 shows together. 30 shows. I remember the very first show. I kept thinking, am I going to be able to talk for 60 minutes? Because that's a long time to hold it down by myself and just talk. And I remember Maze saying to me, you know what, when you're passionate about a subject, you'll be able to fill up the time. And as the shows went on, those 60 minutes went by like that so quickly. And so it's amazing to look back and what's happened over this past year. 30 shows, 18 guests on the show, which means that 12 of those shows I held down by myself, which was really, I held down with Reese too. Reese is back there on the boards, but Reese is always jumping in with comments sometimes that are really insightful, that really help the show. And so, yeah, it's been a year. It has been a full year, and we have done a lot. And I started this show. Let me just reflect for a moment. I want to take some time and kind of work my way up a little bit slowly. So stay with me here. I started this show from a place of wanting to help others, wanting others to not experience what I had experienced. From, I think, Reese, I heard you say the other day, a smart man learns from their mistakes, a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. And so I really wanted to sit in that place and offer this wisdom in order for people to have better outcomes, because this was about bringing pain to purpose. In all honesty, it was bringing pain to purpose because the divorce process was painful. It was very painful for me. I, not necessarily because I was getting divorced, but because of the process, because of the sharks in the water, basically, because it was a contentious process, because there was so much I did not know about the process. And when you don't know, you are ripe for being taken advantage of. And so this divorce journey, you know, divorce started for me unexpectedly. I will say that. There was a precipitous event that caused me to have to sit and think and really reflect about my marriage and decide how I wanted to move forward and what was best for me. And my decision was to leave the marriage and to divorce. And I was very, very clear that that was the right decision for me. I was very clear that it was the right decision for my children, despite what people would think about, oh, are the kids going to be doomed to failure because they don't have two parents in the household? You know, that's kind of been the Black community story for a long time, and a lot of us turned out just fine, right? And there's a lot of research these days. We had a show about that talked about maybe the kids are better off, in all honesty. And so, you know, it was very unexpected. I was very hurt. I was very angry. I was disillusioned to find myself in that position, and just felt a lot of betrayal, a lot of disregard, disrespect, all of it. It just was, it was a tough place to be in. And when I say that I needed a ton of help from a therapist, from my friends and the circle around me, I needed so much support. And I got that support. I found that because I still had to be mom. I still had to take care of the children. I still had to meet their needs. I had to still help them process their grief while I'm trying to process mine. I still had to work. And that was a whole mess in and of itself, because when you're experiencing something that's so earth-shaking and that has really moved the foundation of everything you thought was true, it's kind of hard to focus on what you need to do at work and to do that well when you have all this other stuff going around you. And then you have a new job, basically, of getting divorced, of trying to find your way through that process, of trying to vet attorneys and trying to get them what they need to file paperwork, and reading the paperwork and attending the court dates. And, you know, it was so much. It was so very much. And so I struggled a lot with that. And I was really grateful that I had the friends and the circles that I had, and that people had shown up for me, and really shown up for me in really big ways. And so I started this show because, I remember once Maze did a Facebook post. He did a Facebook post that said men needed a divorce support group. And I commented on it and was like, you know what? Y'all do it to yourselves. You act crazy, and then, you expect that this stuff isn't going to happen. And I think it was very clear at that point that, all right, she's going through something. Somebody did something to her. She's hurt, And I remember Maze responding. Actually, someone responded on the post and said, you know what, I'm sorry, whatever happened. Maze was just like, okay, this was basically for the guys, and, dang, why don't you just kind of chill on that right now? And I understood that and was like, okay, I got you. But we later reconnected because we were having a conversation about Black emoji. And if you guys have not seen Black emoji and the 3D emojis that they are creating that are high quality for the Divine Nine, you need to check them out. Check it out. It is an app you can download on your phone, your iPhone or your Android. Super, super well done. I worked with them, very proud of the work that I did with them to help them to birth this offering. And we were having a conversation about that. You guys some of you might have seen Mace's Sigma emoji that he used. It's probably been a year or two ago. But anyway, we're talking about this, and we just started commiserating and having a discussion about divorce and the impact on each of us. And it wasn't a very long conversation, but it carried out into the parking lot, and we kept on talking. And Maze was like, you know what? I got the studio here. It's really, if you ever want to do the show, let me know. And so I started to think about, that actually might be a really good idea, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the right thing to do yet. I got a bunch going on. And so I decided, you know what? One day I sat down, like, it just kept kind of ruminating and thinking about it. And one day I sat down, and I will tell you, God inspired, God breathed. In an hour, I had a whole proposal put together for like 30 shows that I sent over to Maze and said, hey, here's what I want to do. I didn't hear back for a while, and I was like, maybe it wasn't good. I don't know. And finally, maybe about a month later, he called and was like, hey, this looks really good. We want to do the show. We just want to make sure it's not like a male bashing kind of show, like kill all the men. No, that's not what my intention was. Even though there are some days that, I kind of felt like that. But the show was really about empowering you to, with information, to make great choices along the journey. If you found yourself getting divorced, it was really, I wanted you to be equipped. I wanted to give you what I didn't have in the process, that I saw a need for and felt I needed to create to help us. There is no good reason that we have to continue learning the same lessons over and over, one by one. That's how we get taken advantage of by the attorneys in the process and others that are in the divorce process. And so I wanted to make sure that you guys got a chance to hear my heart in some ways, to hear what professionals had to say about the process. I wanted you to understand what you could do, where you had room to hear some of the things the attorneys might not tell you, to hear some of the options you have for types of divorce. And so we've done a lot. We have done a lot. This show journey has talked about forgiveness and rebuilding. It's talked about healing. We've talked about, what the guys need. I think a huge part of my audience has been women, but I see y'all guys out there. Y'all, and some of y'all rock with me on a weekly basis. I really appreciate it. And I really want to understand what you need also in the process. And so, good morning. I see Artavia. I see Becky. I see Tamika. Good morning. Thanks for joining. And Artavia, thank you for that wonderful compliment. I love it. So, the stuff we've talked about real estate. What do you need to think about in the process of divorce as it relates to real estate? And what are some of the pitfalls that people fall into? We've talked about the children. Are they doomed? We've talked about what else, what can we do to support them? What are the signs that we need to look for that they may not be handling the divorce well? We've talked about mental health, a huge topic, very, very important for me to make sure that we are normalizing mental health in our community. We've talked about financial rebuilding. We've talked about stuff like dating and kind of body image and a mommy makeover and, how do you just moving forward in your dating life. We have talked about domestic violence and first ladies and, kind of what the church says about divorce and marriage. And we've shared some personal stories together from people who were in divorce, experienced divorce, and were triumphant on the other side of it, are doing really well. And to me, that's so important that you get to see that, because when you're going through it, it feels crazy. It feels crazy, and it feels like you're in it by yourself. And if you don't see, I'm a firm believer that if you don't see what the possibility is forward, then you don't think it's possible. You think you're going to stay in that place. You think you'll never come out of it. You think you'll never be better. And I want you to see on this show that absolutely you can and you will be. And so we have covered a lot of topics, and I think there are so many more to go, so many more things to talk about, so many more stories to hear, so much more empowerment to impart. And for me, this is really, really, it's more than just a show. It is a ministry. It is taking pain and turning that pain into purpose. And the purpose is to really serve and to help. That is the definition of ministry. It is, it's a weird way to think about it for some, but I do see this as ministry, and this is a service that I am doing. I don't get paid to do this, right? I do it because I want you to not experience the same things. I want you to be better. And so I am super duper excited to talk to you about what's coming next. I am just thrilled that this thing is taking the next step and moving forward. And it is moving forward into being broader than just this podcast. I do, I did, I don't. It will now be a broader offering called Doing Divorce Different. And so I want you all to take a look when you get a chance at the website, www.doingdivorcedifferent.com. You will see on that website that kind of what's going on and what the offerings are. And let me just stop and do a huge shout out to Tamika over at Savvy Boss Media, who did the thing on the website. She did an amazing job. It looks absolutely fantastic. I am so proud to be launching this website and with her. So if anybody is looking for work like that, hit Tamika up at Savvy Boss Media. But what you'll see happening, one of the very first things that people said to me when I started the show was, we need to do circles. We need to do groups. My radio best friend, Cassandra, I'm not sure if I saw her on today, but Cassandra said right away, we need groups. And I was not ready to go there yet, but I think it was a great idea, right? Absolutely fantastic idea. So one of the things that you will see coming are divorce care circles for women who are looking for support, who have questions, who are trying to find their way through the process. And that can be women who are looking for information to be equipped for marriage. That could be women who are in the divorce process or women who are outside of the divorce process. Now, guys, I'm not forgetting about you at all. I think you are an integral part and of this offering, and that you need support too. It just looks differently. And I will be honest with you, I am not sure what that needs to look like for you all. So I would love it if you would share your thoughts on what would be helpful for you, because again, it's ministry, right? It's for me to serve you in the way that's best. And I think that may be me doing it. It may be someone else doing it as a part of this, but I want to make sure that you're not forgotten, that you're not tossed aside, that you have the options and you have the offerings, you have the support, you have the network available to you as well, and the information. So y'all hit me up. Let me know what you need. And for those who are interested, go on. You can, especially the guys, go on to the website. There's a place for you to put in your information to contact and send a note and just let me know what you're thinking about. So we'll have divorce care circles. I will also offer one-on-one individualized coaching. And that one-on-one coaching, what I have found is over this past year, I've had lots of conversations and have developed lots of relationships and friendships even with women who are going through divorce and who need support, who just need to talk through what's happening, what are the right next steps, what are they, where are their blind spots, you know, what does the process even look like? And sometimes it's just a matter of just settling people and saying, okay, it's going to be okay. Let's just take the first step, right? Let's just take the first step of what you need to do right now. And it's been extremely valuable. It's been valuable for the folks that I have talked to, but it's also been valuable for me. Man, can I tell you about the amount of growth that I've experienced even over the last year in doing this work? And so that individualized coaching, you can sign up for that and sign up for it on the website. My signature offering will be a Divorce 101 class. And so I am in the process of working on that. And yes, go to the website. It's www.doingdivorcedifferent.com. And I know different instead of differently, but the name is long enough already. So it's doingdivorcedifferent.com. Sign up for. There's a waiting list going right now for the Divorce 101 class. And, I'm excited about this because we're going to talk about all sorts of things. We're going to talk about what the legal process is like. We're going to talk about the kids. We're going to talk about some of the no-nos that you need to stay away from in the process. We will cover self-care, which includes your mental and emotional well-being. And so I want to make sure that, again, I am serving. And so, go in, go to the website. Let me know what you want to see. If you think, check it out. Tell me what you think. Give me your suggestions, because I want this thing to continue to grow, and I want it to grow for those of us who need it. And this podcast will also continue. It will continue. We're going to shift to YouTube. So it won't be on What's in It for the Black People Media, but you will still see on the I Do, I Did, I Don't Facebook page a link that pops up for the podcast. I will still be doing the video podcast so that each of you, we get to interact and talk. And I like that, as opposed to doing a broadcast that is simply just kind of put out there for you to listen to. I want this to be a dialogue. And so you'll see that still continuing as well. And I'm super excited to continue to do that. And so, I'm going to take a quick break because I got to come back after this. I've told you about the site. I want you to take a moment to take a look at it, www.doingdivorcedifferent.com. And I'm going to come back on the other side because I have some thank yous that I need to deliver as a part of this process. So we'll be right back. Give me about a minute or so, and I'll join you in a moment.
WIIFTBP.
One of a
so nice. Girl, you do it right. I miss oh, girl, you don't go too fast. You take your time. Just how I miss. Hey, oh, you can't sit there. I'm drifting off your love. Keeps me floating, girl. I miss. And ooh, it feels so good. I wanna come down. Girl, I'm missing that love. Come on. Ooh, babe, I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me. Oh, babe, I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me. Come on. Oh, when you're not around, girl, I'm tweaking. I swear I be hearing things. Oh, hey. And if I cannot have you, girl, I'm feeling. Oh, that's such a talent you bring. Yeah. Hey. Oh, and it's too long. If I can hold you in my arms, if I can find a real good love. That kiss is a drug to me. Baby, your kiss is all I need. Come on. Ooh, it feels so good, baby. Oh, come on. Ooh, babe, I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me. I miss it already, girl. I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me. I miss it already, babe. I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me.
All right, welcome back to I Do, I Did, I Don't on What's in It for the Black People Media. Thanks for joining. I see several suggestions already coming through for the guys. Thank you, guys. I so appreciate it because, again, I want to make sure that this is an offering for you. And if you are just joining, you are joining and a big announcement that I am launching a full offering in business called Doing Divorce Different. And it will include... Thank you for the applause. It will include, this podcast will continue definitely on YouTube, but it will also include a few other things like doing a Divorce 101 class that will be the signature offering. It will include individualized coaching for those who are looking for help to just walk through their process. And it will also include divorce care circles for those who are looking for support and looking for connection and the opportunity to ask questions to figure out. And it will be a private group. So it's important to me to make sure that we maintain some level of confidentiality as people are sharing their hearts and sharing what's really important to them and what's really, they're being very vulnerable in the process, and divorce kind of forces you to do that in many ways, but you don't want to put your stuff all just out there. And so these circles will be, smaller circles with a private group that will allow people the space and the safe space to be able to do that. So I said that before I left, I wanted to come back and do some thank yous. And number one, I absolutely have to thank Maze Jackson. I want to thank you, Maze, for giving me this opportunity, for affirming what God had already confirmed, that I needed to move forward in this, and that this truly is a ministry in many ways. And so I thank you, brother, for giving me the space, for giving me this studio space to be able to offer this to your audience and to build an audience of people who need this information. I thank you for believing in me that I could do it and giving me a little bit of coaching around how to, but it wasn't, it's been rather natural, kind of like you said, to be able to do it. And so I am super grateful, always and forever a fan. I thank you for, and I'm going to thank you on behalf of Black Moji also for, giving them a platform as well and allowing them to show what they had for a business. So I just wanted to take that moment to thank you. I want to thank the What's in It for the Black People Media audience, because you all have encouraged me and shown me that this really is something that people need. This really is something that people want to have and that people can gain some valuable knowledge from. And you have propelled me to continue to move it forward and to think bigger about how to serve you, how to provide this information for you in ways and in offerings that are going to be helpful. And so thank you for joining me each week. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for sharing your comments as the show has gone on. And thank you right now for all the little hearts I see showing up on the screen. I really appreciate you all. I really do, because, and I thank you that you've given me a space also to heal, to continue to grow. And as I have done a lot of these shows, it's been helpful for me personally, while I'm helping to give information to you as well. And I certainly have moved from the place that I was a year ago in healing and being more cooperative, I would say, even in the co-parenting situation, because of the knowledge that I've gained in doing this show and the space that you all have given me to do that. So I want to thank you. I would like to thank again Tamika at Savvy Boss Media for the website and the work that she's been putting up for me. Absolutely amazing. I am so impressed by you, and so impressed, and like I said, very proud of the website that is launching. I'm going to thank a couple other people that aren't expecting to be thanked, but I want to make sure that you hear this. And so Yoli Cox, this 21 Days of Abundance Challenge that we have been doing has just continued to bless me, and seeing what you are doing is inspirational as well. So I want to thank you for that, even though you probably had no idea that I'm seeing it that way. But girl, thank you. Thank you. I got to thank my bestie, Artavia Berry, who is the bestest bestie in the whole wide world. She's always encouraging, always pushing me, always, when you talk about a partner in life, that's my girl. That is my girl. She knows all the stuff, and she still loves me for who I am. And she has always encouraged me. We've always tried to support each other, but she's taught me how to be a good friend. And the things that she's taught are the things that I'm now trying to give out in a different way. And so, girl, I am so grateful for you. I am eternally grateful that God put us together and that we have been together all these something years. You're really, truly a wonderful human being, and it's this bleeding heart at times, and it's who you are, and you just have embodied service. And I am so grateful that you said yes to being the godparent of my boys, and that you just continue to pour into the people around you, not just me, but everybody around you that come into contact. Y'all, let me just tell you real quick. I'm going to take a little quick pause. Do you know that this woman has achieved reparations in a form in the Bay Area? So there's a city called Russell City that was in Hayward. Artavia sits on the commission, and she basically wrote a proposal and said, you know what? We need to correct the wrong. We need to correct the wrong. This city was demolished, basically, a thriving city of Black people, and we need to offer a formal apology and start putting some reparations in place. She did that, and it has happened. Can you say amazing? Absolutely amazing. And so that's the kind of encouragement that I get, like, hey, And when I see women that are doing that, and that's what I want you all to see as you are going on your journey and you are healing, I want you to see these women that are out here doing the same things, who have experienced divorces and who are thriving on the other side. So I also want to thank, I'm going to thank my ex. Certainly not expected, but I'm going to thank my ex because I would not be here today without you. I would not be here realizing and walking in my full purpose and turning that pain into power. The fact that we divorced has been a release for me to just kind of move forward and shine. And so I learned a lot about myself and our marriage. I think I've learned even more in divorce. And so I am going to, and I'm really being honest here, guys. I am not trying to be like, cheeky at all, or I'm not being petty. I am really being honest that I'm going to thank him. I'm going to thank him for being the dad that continues to show up half the time for the parenting time. I'm going to thank him for continuing to work through how we co-parent, because it's not an easy thing. Certainly probably not an easy thing to do that with me. But I'm going to thank you, because when I made a choice on who I wanted to marry, part of that was I wanted to make sure that if it didn't work out for us, it worked out, that person would still show up for the children. And so I think I made a good choice in that. So I'm going to thank you, Mr. Watkins, for continuing to show up for your children and continuing to put the effort in to work through this. I said there are some other people out there that don't know necessarily that I would like to thank them, but there are a few others. Reese, I'm going to thank you because you've been with me every Sunday. I really appreciate what you have offered to this audience, what you've offered to me, just some of the tips and knowledge and sharing your opinions. You have a really interesting point of view. That's probably the best way I can say it. It's so mature in many ways, but it's also so just a matter of fact, just like this is what it is. And so I so appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you sharing your heart, your experiences at times for the benefit of the viewers on this show as well. And then I have another person I want to thank, and her name is Ayana. I'm going to thank her because what she showed me is, that first and foremost, I need to be loyal to myself to start with, and really not value what someone else wants over what I want. I think she's taught me also to really to value myself above everything else. And for that, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. And I want to thank you for that, because I couldn't have done it without you, boo. And so I want to thank all of those who have trusted me to come on to this show. All of the guests, from Oyafumike to LaDuina Smith, to Lisa Foster, to Mikal Harris, to Arena Felton, to Alfred Ivy, to Donnie Maxey, to who else? I had Tina, and I want to thank you for Tina and Tanisha Bell. So Tanisha, I said that wrong. Let me get it right. Tanisha Gutierrez and Tamika Bell for being on the show. Jackie Clark. Who else was on the show that I need to thank as well? Dr. Octavia Altimer, my radio bestie, Cassandra. Thank you for joining and sharing your story and sharing your heart. This has been such a wonderful journey. And if I forgot anybody, please charge it to my head, not to my heart. I'm trying really hard to remember everybody that's been on the show. And like I said, there were 18 guests, and I certainly I don't have the list of them in front of me. So if I didn't mention your name, just know that it's because my head forgot about it. But I really want to thank you all. I want to thank you for sharing your knowledge, for imparting knowledge to this audience, for imparting knowledge to me, and for sharing the skills that you have developed over the years that have really, you do your jobs excellently, and you have really helped us to grow. And I want to thank Ya Oyafumike. She has helped me particularly so much in forming this friendship that I did not expect. We didn't even realize that we were going through divorces at the same time. But man, is she a powerful woman, a wise woman with so much knowledge. And she released me from the point of, in the sense of embodying forgiveness. The thing that she taught me, that you need to forgive yourself first. Like, go ahead, forgive. You may need to forgive somebody else, but what you really need to do is forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for allowing yourself to believe that you weren't good enough, for allowing yourself to stay in a situation that you knew wasn't the right situation for you, for allowing someone else to damage your confidence in the goddess that you are. Oh my God, I'm eternally grateful for the knowledge, the wisdom, the release that you have helped me to provide. And then I'm going to thank my kiddos and my niece, because I'm here every Sunday morning, and so I'm not with them. They don't see me when they wake up usually, but they are usually with my niece, who comes over to sit for them. As my son told me, it's not babysitting because they're not babies anymore. So she comes over to kid sit, or whatever we want to call that now. But thank you, Alexis. I appreciate you so much, and love you so very much. So y'all, my heart is full. My heart is full, and I'm looking forward to what comes next. And really, the universe has made room for this gift, and I am walking in it and just walking forward. And so I want you all to rock with me. I want you all to be empowered. The whole point of this is for you to be better on the other side. And so with that, I'm going to end a little bit early today. I'm going to say cheers to you. Look at the merch. Look at the merch. It's got the Doing Divorce Different logo on it, and I want you to be better on the other side. See what I did there? Logo. Better on the other side. You all take care. Love you, and look forward to connecting with you this year a little bit differently, but in it, all the same. So take care and be better on the other side.
It feels so nice. Girl, you do it right. I miss oh, girl, you don't go too fast. You take your time. Just how I like. I miss hey, oh, you kiss it, then I'm drifting off your love. Keeps me floating, girl. I miss and it feels so good. I wanna come down. Girl, I'm missing that love. Come on.